The MAGA movement, bring it on. Must a growing coalition always involve a messy mix of strange bedfellows? Typically, sadly, that's the case in politics. The MAGA coalition is full of internal contradictions at the moment. The question is, how long can it last? To what extent and how will it manage the contradictions of its evolution? What will the common goal become to attempt to keep the unity of focus? And will it merely be a smokescreen to provide cover for a greater initiative, perhaps to profit the billionaires leading us? Or will the coalition's contradictions ultimately tear it apart? President Reagan was able to keep his group together because he was fighting the communists. And then everybody's got to have an enemy. Some people go abroad and we fight Muslims, so they say. But there's sometimes some fragile ideological enemies that we create, sometimes falsely, whether they're communists or Muslims abroad. So these politicians can provide for themselves cover here at home and keep the fragmented coalition united, seemingly. But I apologize to the nations of the world when we demonize you, because most Americans don't even have a passport, and they never travel abroad. They don't even realize what it's like to visit the very countries that we demonize on television. So oftentimes the citizens themselves are being misled and misguided and misdirected by their politicians who call themselves leaders. So I'm concerned with the political movements of this generation, how we have thought ourselves to be right and immediately claimed that we are the greatest country in the world, but most of the people who are making such claims have never traveled to any parts of the world. I myself have traveled to 90 nations. I've lived in Africa, Asia, Latin America, and Europe. I love to travel. I love the peoples of the world. I love everybody. I love the people in China and Russia and India and all those great countries that I've been to that others may have issue with. I've been to Venezuela. I've been to Cuba. I've been to places where they say I'm not supposed to like those people, but I do anyhow, because I know the people are great and the governments come and go and they change. So I focus on the heart of God. God loves everybody, and you should too. Give everybody a chance before you prematurely judge them and label them when you don't even know them. Take time to get to know people. I respect President Nixon. He went to China and made friends there. We can make friends. President Trump, I respect him going to North Korea and making a friend there. We can make friends of those who claim and others tell us that are our enemies. Yeah, it's possible to turn an enemy into a friend when we actually take time to get to know them. It's not so hard when you sit and chat and have a meal together and take time to listen to their concerns and find points of agreement, areas that we can work together. So the MAGA movement, I pray that we find commonality and goals and points of agreement that we can work together, collaborate on, and do good and right by our country rather than demonize and divide and belittle one another and play these little games of name calling ideologically and bickering among ourselves. We have enough strife and torment and tumultuous upheaval in our nation with all the murder and shootings happening in schools and in society. We need more peace. We need more prosperity. We need more patience among ourselves and humanity and humility and learning from one another simultaneously and working together harmoniously. I pray for that for our country. God bless you for listening to me, and I pray that your family and your community will be blessed as well.